pretty specifically about, why a certain number of places in Canterbury, but I think we'd heard quite a sufficient answer. Question number 11, the Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Acting Minister of Energy and Resources. Does she stand by the government's decision to require Meridian Energy to sell some of its hydroelectricity dams on the Waitaki River to Genesis Energy, and how have the proceeds of sale been used?
The Honourable Heke Parata.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to the first part of the question, yes. To the second part of the question, that is a matter of responsibility for the Minister for State-Owned Enterprises, but the Minister of Finance has already referred in a couple of his answers this afternoon to this, and my understanding is that a special dividend of around $520 million was returned to the Crown.
Honourable David Parker.
Could steps like the requirement to sell those assets from Meridian to Genesis have been taken if Meridian and Genesis had been in partial private ownership? And if so, how would the government have achieved that?
The Honourable Heke Parata.
Mr. Speaker, that's not the situation that we have, and speculating on what might happen under what is proposed doesn't seem to me to be a reasonable question.
The Honourable David Parker.
Is the Minister then now giving notice to anyone considering buying shares in these companies if they're sold that National might, for market reasons, intervene with repercussions on the value of shares? It's an energy question.
The Honourable Heke Parata.
Mr. Speaker, no.
The Honourable David Parker.
Is the Minister then now admitting that following privatisation of shares in Meridian and Genesis, the government's ability to intervene in the market to get better prices is constrained?
The Honourable Heke Parata.
Mr. Speaker, no.
The Honourable David Parker.
Supplementary.
Order. The Honourable David Parker. Order. I want to hear the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that following privatisation of the shares, the Crown would have fewer options for controlling excess electricity prices, why does the Minister dismiss the concerns of grey power that her government's privatisation plans would lead to higher power prices?
The Honourable Heke Parata.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, those suppositions are incorrect, but if I could refer the member to the consumer switching statistics, which have, since the end of 2009 and to July this year, doubled with the number of consumers who have switched to find a more competitive power price for themselves, I think that grey power will find that very helpful to them.
Question number 12, Jonathan Young.